All right, we will call the meeting to order. Jen, take roll.
Commissioner Delzer?
Here.
Commissioner Erickson?
Here.
Commissioner Waldner?
Here.
Commissioner Abraham?
Here.
Mayor Lindsay?
Here. You have attached the minutes of the April 21st meeting. Are there any additions or corrections?
Make a motion to approve the minutes of April 21st.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You have the agenda in front of you. Any additions or corrections or questions?
I'll move to approve the agenda as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. You also have attached the March investment report, gross salaries, and bills for ratification.
Questions at all?
Make a motion to acknowledge the March investment report, gross salaries, and bills for ratification.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no old business, new business, resolution number 2014-9, approve the tax increment district number 3. And you have attached in that, it's a brief sentence in that is allowing Lake County to approve a tax increment district within the city limits of Madison. And do we have anyone that wants to speak to that? Any questions or comments? Do we have a motion?
I'll move to approve Resolution 2014-9, a resolution to approve tax increment district number 3 within the city of Madison, Lake County, South Dakota.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Discuss cash to reserve transfers. Jen, did you have any comments on that?
I'm going to defer to Chad first.
Defer to Chad?
Briefly,
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you. Yeah, I can add just a few things. I would like to recommend that, I've coordinated with Fred and Jen, and I'd like to recommend that the commission consider making a transfer from the sewer fund to a reserve in the sewer fund, an infrastructure improvement reserve, to offset some of the higher than anticipated costs that we've seen with current estimates for our Highway 34 reconstruction. And that would be about $175,000 is a number that I think Jen is comfortable with, and Fred, after we were able to talk about this before we brought this up, so.
And that's coming in 2016 and 17.
Correct.
My only comment is just we've done a real thorough review of the first quarter through the first quarter of 2014. Revenue is coming in as budgeted as our expenses, and I'm comfortable with the $175,000 transfer to assure that we are able to fund these projects as they come about in this IIP.
And we have to be prepared because that project is a state project and it's probably the only shot we'll get at in the next 30 years. And if we don't do it right, we're going to be in trouble.
I anticipate, in May, coming before and presented to the commission, the new commission, the updated, every year we pass a 5-year plan, the infrastructure improvement plan. Essentially, all we're asking to commit at that time, of course, is to the next fiscal year. The other ones always change based upon cash flows, different priorities, emergencies, so on. But that'll be coming in May, and this having these available would certainly help us know how to structure that plan, because we have to either cut projects or whatever if we're not able to show the cash available. So.
Sounds good.
My only comment is to, thank you guys for digging in and looking at that, because when that Highway 34 does come through town, Chad, we've talked about this a lot. I like to dig once and let's put everything we can that we can afford that's feasible one time, and then we're not going back and digging it up again and tearing up perfectly good streets for one little thing that we might have forgot. And
Well, and you
Like
gotta
the mayor
remember, it's a
said,
state highway
it's
and
a-
they won't let us.
especially on this project, exactly.
My business on Highway 34 is connected to a 100-year-old sewer line until this project comes through. So I will have I will put in a new line at that time, and that, because it'll be the only shot that I've had it, and I've had that business 18 years,
Yep.
so. Okay.
So if you're on board, then I guess if I didn't put it as part of the agenda because we wanted to discuss it, but if you're on board, I think we'd ask for a motion to move $175,000 from operating to an infrastructure improvement reserve within the sewer fund. Remembering this is only within the sewer fund.
Okay.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Appoint to the Planning Commission, and these are reappointments for 5 years. Todd Copeland and Cindy Iverson have been on the Planning Commission, and their terms are up, and they would like to serve again for another 5.
I'll make a motion that we appoint to the Planning Commission Todd Copeland and Sydney Iverson.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I just wanted to acknowledge, having been the liaison to that commission, they're very dedicated, both those individuals, that do a good job. so.
They do, very good. Number 4 is appoint to the Library Board, and again, this is a reappointment of Gail Hammond for another 3-year term to the Library Board.
Make a motion to appoint Gail Hammond to another 3-year term to the library board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. And again, it's a reappointment for another 3-year term for Mike Miller and Jeray Wire on the Park and Recreation Board.
I would make a motion to appoint Mike Miller and Jeray Wire to the Park and Rec Board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Number 6, this also is a reappointment of Tim Peters for another 5 years to the Airport Board.
I would make a motion to appoint Tim Peters to the Airport Board.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Mr. Mayor, I just want to throw out there as well and thank all of these people for doing this, because while we're up here as a commission and we're voting and doing different things, a lot of the real work and the information that we rely upon comes from these citizens of Madison, and so there's
they're
other
very-
citizens out there.
I think this is a good point.
Get
Point out.
involved.
In a previous meeting a while ago, somebody asked me a question. I really apologize for not having the better answer, but one question that they had, and I believe it actually is an incoming city commissioner who asked the question, is what kind of checks and balances do we have on some of the money we spend? And this is one of the best checks and balances we have. Many of these, if not all of these committees that we're talking about right now, review all the bills that are spent through their department or their board, and they're not paid. They're citizens taking the time away from their families. That if they're on the library board, they're doing it because they love the library. Same with the airport and the Parks and Rec. And these guys are watching over Nancy and Ted and the airport manager and all. They're looking at every bill that's being spent, and not only are they double checking it, they are pouring their heart and soul into these committees. And I really want to thank them for all the time that they're spending on this, because that's what really makes the city work, is these groups that are doing what they love and spending their time on what they love.
And they do a great job also in forward planning. They're not just looking at what happened today, they're looking at what's coming up 2, 3, 4 years down the road and making suggestions and recommendations, and I really appreciate that also. So, again, a public thank you to everyone on all the committees that we have, so.
And FYI, you will see the majority of these reappointments come due in May and in December, so that's why we've got a chunk of them.
today.
Other ones are appointments for leaving, members who are leaving or other things. But the majority of them you will see in May and December.
Very good. You also have attached bills for approval.
Make a motion, we approve the bills as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carried. We also have attached bills for ratification.
Make a motion to ratify the bills.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. We also have some personnel adjustments that are attached.
I just had one question. Fred, on your hire, is that gonna be out at the
Which one would that be?
solid waste?
Patch.
Patch is taking Lucas Dahl's position.
Okay. He's not out at the.
He's taking the garbage.
Okay.
Roger.
Because Roger moved across.
Roger went to the street.
Okay.
Yep.
But, okay, that's I need.
He'll be on the garbage truck.
Yeah.
Yep,
Perfect.
okay. Was Luke's gone and then up to Brookings, sorry?
Brookings.
Okay. That's all the question I have, Mr. Mayor. I'll move to approve the
Okay.
personnel as submitted.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Seeing no other announcements or other business, do we have a motion to adjourn?
So
So
moved.
moved.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, Mayor.